Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. So, we've got more news, we've got things to talk about, and boy do we have something to talk about in particular. I mean, I am getting fed up of having to talk about this one geezer, but he just keeps opening his mouth. We'll get to that very shortly. Before we do though, don't forget, hit the subscribe button on here, hit the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. Socials are on the screen right now, right here. Give us a follow, much appreciated. Also, I will leave a link right here to my appearance over on Saeed TV earlier on today. My good mate Saeed, Man United fan, of course, as most of you know. He's a part of the Big Six and is a very, very vocal Manchester United fan. We had a discussion because Mud Brothers, right? We had a discussion about Chelsea and also Manchester United and various relating topics between the two clubs. So make sure you go and check this out. It was a very good half-an-hour discussion where we had a bit of banter and a lot of good discussion. So make sure you go and check it out. Much appreciated. Let's get cracking. Because I said we got things to discuss. And we're going to start off on what I think many people will be excited about, right? So without further ado, let's get into it. Chelsea have added Napoli forward Victor Osimhen to their list of possible January targets, sources have told ESPN. Now, ESPN, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be honest and logical here, right? ESPN are not the most valuable, credible outlet in the world, but they don't get everything wrong. You know, they get some things right, and I do like one thing about ESPN, and that's their post-match analysis with Frank Leboeuf, Julien Laurens. I do think that is actually really good analysis, sometimes controversial, but it's good to watch, right? So, no digs at ESPN. But when it comes to this, I think it's pretty obvious. In January, Chelsea will be looking at Osimhen and they will be looking at Ivan Toney. We already know this, right? But it's come out today, and I thought that it's a very interesting thing to discuss because, yeah, all of a sudden, Broja's come back from fitness. We've got Nicholas Jackson looking like he now knows where the goal is. So what's going to happen from now up until January? You know, this is the thing. God knows. But up until Jan, we will keep our eyes on Nicholas Jackson, on Broja. We'll see how far we get. And if moves need to be made, we will go and knock on the door of Napoli, who we've got to discuss later on because there's certain managerial developments going on over there, which is very interesting. So this could affect Victor Osimhen, but we will see what happens come January. Now, we do have another striker on our books. Just 2 days ago. 2 days ago, right? He came out and said, I don't like to talk. I'm going to do my talking on the pitch. His words, yeah? And I looked at it and was like, listen, mate, you've said enough, yeah? If you're going to keep your mouth shut now, then cool, but you've already said enough. You've said well over enough, more than you should have. And I think you've already blown every single bridge that exists. 2 days it took this geezer to talk. 2 days. Yeah, he's come out with things to say today, so let's get into it. And from none other than this guy. Lukaku says, I don't beat around the bush. I will speak in time. But if I actually said how last summer went, everyone would be shocked. There were really times where I thought I might explode. 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have stood back and done it. We go into a little bit more elaboration here. He says, most of the people in this room know me. I don't beat around the bush. I will speak in time. But if I actually said how last summer went, everyone would be shocked. There were really times where I thought I might explode. 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have stood back and done it. There's more. Don't worry. There's more. I'm not finished. When this guy talks, mate, you better be ready to stick around for 5 minutes, right? So let's show you more. Romelu Lukaku, when I tell you how the approach to the Champions League final was, you will understand why I wasn't there with my mind. If I told you how things really went with Inter, you would be shocked. One day, you will understand. Listen, I'm going to be completely honest. Completely honest. You wanted Inter Milan? You got into Milan. You made your bed, you lie in it. Simple as that. Lukaku was the one that blew it at Chelsea, right? He was the one that decided to invite Sky Italia into his house, unlicensed interview. unapproved, something the club and even his own personal team didn't even know about at the time, because he was so hell-bent on showing how much he loves Inter and how he wants to go back one day. Well, lo and behold, you got your move. You got what you wanted, and now you're going to come and complain about how it went down at Inter Milan. You asked for it, big man. The lesson to learn from this is next time, don't open your mouth. This is the moral of the story. Now I hear that he doesn't like to talk, and we find him talking even more now, and now he's about to shine some light on what's gone on at Inter Milan. Well, whoop-de-doo. You figured out that the grass isn't actually greener on the other side now, is it? You made your bed, you lie in it. I feel no sympathy. Now, Lukaku as a person can learn, can take the experience, can recognize his mistake and say, I'm never going to do that again. Fair enough, but not at Chelsea. For us, you're long gone. See you later. We don't need any part of Lukaku anymore. Goodbye, right? But for his own personal sake, like I said at the time when he was blowing it with Chelsea and he went off to Inter Milan, you reap what you sow. And if the day comes where you recognize what you've done and you understand that you made a big mistake and you decide to rectify yourself, cool. Good luck to you. I wish you the best. But that's between him and him. Simple as that. He's now complaining about what happened at Inter Milan. Don't blame Inter Milan. You asked for this move and you didn't have to. Simple as that. The moment you walked through the door at Chelsea, oh, into this, into that. Well, you got into this and into that, and look what's happened. Look what's happened. So that's on him. That is completely on him. I don't feel any sympathy here. But we have former Inter defender Antonio Paganin, who decided to say something, and something very interesting. Let's see what he's got to say. I had appreciated the silence up until now. The moment you say, I will speak, the respect disappears from me. We are certainly missing something, but now either you speak or you shut up. Need a standing ovation for this one, lads. Standing ovation. Antonio Paganin. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I never said how much I like Antonio Paganin. What a great guy. What a geezer. What a geezer. He's right. He's absolutely spot on. You see, now Lukaku wants to open his mouth, right? Okay, so you've got something to say, right? We'll say it. What are we waiting for? In time I will speak. Why does everything have to be Hollywood with this guy? Why does everything have to be, the spotlight has to be on me? I need all the attention. I shall not speak until all the attention is here and all the lights and cameras are on and the makeup is done on my face and I'm ready to talk. As soon as I have 5,000 presenters in front of me holding microphones ready for the biggest press conference of all time, and then I will say the words. Why? Why is it got to be like this? Why? Ego. The guy's ego's gone through the roof. So much so through the roof that even Jay-Z, right? And Rock Nation dropped him. Rock Nation are all about the ego. Rock Nation are built on ego. Rock Nation are built on what are you worth? You know, if you ain't worth as even close to what someone like Jay-Z is, we ain't even gonna consider you. Yeah? Even they dropped him. Honestly, this is why. This is why I say this guy. This guy. Was it Levi Colwell? Levi Colwell was the one who dropped this guy line. He got it spot on. This guy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Man. Now, talking about unbelievable and talking about Italians and talking about we must suffer. If you remember, we got news on Antonio Conte. Before I let you know of it, let me know your thoughts on Lukaku down in the comment section below and what you think on this whole saga. It's tiring. It's actually tiring. I've never had a player that's actually got me tired on my own channel before. It's this guy. Now, let's get into what's going on with Antonio Conte. Here it is. Napoli have formally approached Antonio Conte today. Discussions will follow with direct talks to understand if he can be the right man to replace Rudy Garcia. No final decision made yet, as there are many crucial points to discuss before advancing with Conte. Well, Fabrizio then did give us an update a couple of hours after that, saying this. Antonio Conte had a long direct talk with Napoli today. Discussions were not positive, as Italian coach decided to keep waiting for new opportunity. Napoli president De Laurentiis spoke directly to Conte, but no agreement. Antonio prefers to wait before accepting new job. He doesn't want to suffer. He doesn't want to suffer. This guy, he doesn't want to suffer. You know, it's. I mean, look, Antonio Conte's been out of a job since Spurs, so I would recommend that he actually went back to work. But he does what he wants. He doesn't exactly need the money. The amount of times he's got compensation, I think he's all right. But Napoli, we were talking about Graham Potter, and now we're talking about Antonio Conte. You see, now Antonio Conte is someone that can keep Napoli at the top, without a doubt. I mean, you will hate the football that they play, but he will win a trophy. And people are going to say, oh, but he didn't do it at Tottenham. It's Tottenham. Let's not compare. Let's not compare. Yeah? Apples and pears. This is not, it's a different story. At Napoli, within Serie A, that team and that framework is actually good enough to be able to win Serie A and to possibly go some distance in the Champions League and at least do well in the domestic competitions. Tottenham don't have that luxury yet, because it looks like they're actually moving quite well now, so we'll see. But at Napoli, I think Conte will do pretty well. Now, he said no. Well, you know, ADL, I think your only man to turn to is Graham Potter. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Conte will end up as Napoli boss, or do you think he's going to hold off for something else? Let's wait and see. Maybe he doesn't want to go back home just yet. Anyway, Zidane. Latest on Zidane. We've got all sorts of things kicking off with unemployed managers at the moment. Here it is. Zinedine Zidane on his next job. No news, nothing right now. I'm enjoying my family, and then we'll see what happens in the future. It will always be full of rumours as long as I'm a manager. Let's see, he told Sky. I have already, and this in the comments is going to sum it up pretty nicely. There we are. This, yep, that. That, my friends, is the velodrome. That's Marseille. As soon as the Saudis take over Marseille, it's a done deal. Zidane will be going to Marseille. Maybe not even as the manager, but as it was rumoured, the general manager. Someone in charge of the club. Maybe. Zidane definitely has that expertise, and especially for him to be at his club. People are saying, well, no, he's never played for Marseille. I understand that. But he's born and bred in Marseille. He's a Marseille boy. I don't think people understand like what that actually means in Marseille. You know, like that's... How can I compare it? How can I compare? No, in England, it doesn't exist. You can't be born in London and go, Dad, I'll die for London. Like, it just wouldn't. You know, or the same at Manchester United or Man City if you're a Manchester boy. Like, it doesn't hit the same. Marseille is... Nothing else is allowed. It's a culture. It's almost a religion, you know. So look, if Zidane does take up that role, and more to the point that he's never been at Marseille before, I think he would absolutely love to relish the opportunity to be in charge of his club. Okay, here's a perspective. You see where we say proper Chelsea? We like to think proper Chelsea. Imagine that times 100. That's Marseille. That would be Zidane with Marseille. Proper Marseille. I hope it makes sense. So anyway, that's the latest with Zidane. Let me know your thoughts on that. Talking about an unemployed unemployed manager. He was unemployed for only, a week? Tops? And now he's employed again. Wayne Rooney. Breaking, Wayne Rooney has signed a 3.5-year contract to become the new Birmingham City manager. There he is with the Birmingham City top. I think he's lost weight. Fair play to him, because he was looking like he was having too many pies in the States, I'll be honest. But he's looking good, so fair play. Wayne Rooney back in shape. It does actually get quite interesting, because Birmingham City are 6th in the Championship, and they decided to sack their manager to get Wayne Rooney, someone who's actually not proven even at that level, because... Derby went down. Derby went down. And as I said, despite the problems. But still, he doesn't have a CV to show that he's going to take Birmingham up to the Premier League. Whereas right now in 6th, they would make a playoff spot. So it's a risky move. It would pay off pretty well, or it will absolutely flop. I wouldn't be surprised if it absolutely flopped. But I actually wish him the best, and I hope that to see Birmingham City at least in the playoffs and see if they can get up to the Premier League. It would be pretty interesting to see Wayne Rooney as a gaffer in the Premier League. Can you imagine that? But it's up to him. Much like we've come to the conclusion that a Gerrard or a Lampard are just simply not good enough. Company managed to get promoted with Burnley, and he seems like he's doing somewhat okay, but in the Premier League it's looking like he's heading straight back down. What will Wayne Rooney do at Birmingham? Let's wait and see. Let me know your thoughts down below. And to wrap up, some news coming out of Spain/Morocco. Confirmed, Brahim Diaz has chosen to switch international allegiance and represent Morocco. So, Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid turning to Morocco. I thought I'd mention this point because I want to emphasize on one point that I've not really said on this channel, and I think it's quite important. It's good to see this. It's good to see. Someone like Brahim Diaz, who I think only made one start for Spain. But he's playing at Real Madrid. He got man of the match, I think, like a few weeks ago. And is at a good age, 24. It's good to see these players that have, roots of specifically African nations that are turning towards their roots and choosing to play for those African nations rather than just try and go for the European way. And, as much as it's true that maybe a player like Brahim Diaz doesn't get into the Spain team very easily. Although at the moment, I think there is space. We're not talking about the Galacticos anymore and Xavi, Iniesta and all them guys that were taking over the Spain team and no one else had a chance. I think now there's definitely more of an opening. But he's chosen Morocco. And let me tell you, Morocco's got a very, very, very good team. We saw what they done at the World Cup semi-finalists. They would look really good. They are still looking good. If you've been paying attention, Morocco are a very good team. And the African countries are starting to come through. They are really starting to develop bit by bit. And there's a whole generation of players that are born from immigrants in these European countries that came from these African countries that are all eligible. And now they are all deciding to go for their roots and what their blood says. You're seeing it with all the sub-Saharan African countries, your Senegals and Cameroons and all them lot. You're seeing it with the North Africans. You're seeing it with Morocco. We're seeing it with Algeria. Houssam Aouar has decided to play for Algeria. There's more coming through as well from France and Spain and even England. There's a whole generation of African footballers based in Europe that are starting to shift, especially from France. They're moving away from France and they're going towards their motherlands. And I think it's the absolute correct thing to do. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do for the Moroccan national team. Good luck to him. And looking forward to seeing what the African countries are going to do in the future, because watch this space. I think it's only going to get better and better and better. And Morocco have given us a taste of what's to come as we saw them in the World Cup. So let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for another one. Thank you all so much. Do not forget to be here for that. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you're hitting the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. On top of that, do not forget to smash the like button if you have enjoyed this. Once again, go and check out that video that I done with Saeed. I've linked it. It's right here. Make sure you're hitting that and go and check out the conversation. Much appreciated. Don't forget to check out the socials. They are on screen for you right now as well. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Let's see what hits us tomorrow, and I will be here to give you my opinion. So thank you all so much for watching, people. Have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Take care and peace.